What is up, everybody? I'm Maceo.
And I'm Drew.
And welcome to
Transit Live. Guys, make sure to go ahead and smash that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification bell so you can be notified when we're putting out some awesome content for you guys.
And if it is your first time here, guys, Transit is all about inspiring and equipping middle school students and helping you guys discover a faith of your own. Transit is about you, your friends, and their friends. And we're just so happy that you guys are able to be with us today.
Yes, and if it is your first time here, we would love to get some more information about you. So there's going to be a number on the screen and in the description that you can text so we can get that information for you and so you can get a free $5 gift card to anywhere of your choice.
Well, guys, today is the second week of the Not So Summer Olympics. I know that last week you see me and Paige battle it out. This week we have a couple new contestants, and today they are going to be playing the Ice Cup Challenge. Well, what is up, everybody, and welcome to the second week of the Not So Summer Olympics. Now, this week we have a few new contestants, so I want you guys to get to meet these contestants today. Now, contestant number one, what is your name, and give me something that you like to do.
My name is Lucy, and I like to run.
Well, that is Lucy. You guys got to meet Lucy. Now, contestant number two, give me your name and something that you like to do.
My name is Micah, and I love to clip lizards to my ears.
Okay, well, we're gonna just go ahead and get started. The game that we're playing today is the Ice Cup Challenge. And the way how this game is gonna work, guys, we're gonna give you guys a cup, and you guys are gonna have to try to get exactly 10 ice cubes in your cup. You guys can't go over, you guys can't go less, you guys have to get 10 ice cubes. But of course, that's kind of impossible. So whoever gets the closest wins a point for that round, and there's gonna be 3 rounds. Now, as you guys saw last week, whoever wins, you guys are gonna be pulling a name out of a bucket for your team. Now, whatever name is pulled, you guys will be getting a dozen donuts delivered to your house today. Now, the twist with this game is whoever loses is going to get pied in the face by me, because I control the game. So, are you guys ready to play?
Yes.
You excited, Micah?
Yes.
Okay, now let's get started with the Ice Cup Challenge. And go.
Oh, that's not safe. Yes.
Round 2. 3, 2, go.
That's maybe more than 10.
2, go.
Oh, God.
I know. 9.
Oh, that's gonna be 8. What should be 8? It's 8.
Well, that game was just crazy, and you know what? I don't even want to talk too much. Micah, how do you feel like just losing at that last cup? How do you feel about that?
I knew that I lost before I checked them.
It's so sad. Now, Lucy, how do you feel that you're getting to take home the W today for the girls?
I feel good. I feel excited.
Are you excited to pull for the girls?
Yeah.
Javier, would you mind bringing up the cup for me, please? Now, whatever name you pull out, just read it out loud.
Jade.
Jade Jung. So Jade Jung, you are our winner this week, and you will be getting a box of a dozen donuts delivered to your house today. Now, we have not forgotten, Micah will be getting pied in the face. So Micah, are you ready for that? All right, Javier, bring up the pie. Lucy, do you want to pie him or do you want me to pie him? Are you sure? This is, you sure?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just saying. All right. All right, you ready? All right, I'm gonna give you a countdown. Now, just stay facing that way. I'm gonna give you a countdown, all right? 3. Probably should take it off so you can breathe. Okay, so we'll be seeing you guys next week for another week of Not So Summer Olympics. Bro. Yo, Micah getting pied in the face was literally like my best, like my
Highlight
favorite
of my
part.
week, easily.
Yo,
so
like-
Micah's in our small group, and let's just say, we are always happy to see him get some pie right in the face.
It was tension. I just felt so much relief just being able to, connect the plate to his face. Well,
Oh my
guys,
gosh.
we are jumping into the first week of the series called Into the Unknown, and we will tune in with you
Into the
guys
unknown.
right after.
What's up, Transit? Hey, my name is Will, and if you guys are anything like me, these past few weeks were probably pretty crazy. And part of the reason is that there's so much unknown. There's so many questions swirling around in our heads. Maybe you're thinking, when am I gonna get to see my friends again? Or when can I rejoin my sports team? Or how long is this gonna last? And the truth is that we don't have answers to all those questions, and that can be scary. So we thought it was important for us to stop and look at some examples of some other people who have faced uncertainty before and see what we can learn from them. So today, we're starting a new series called Into the Unknown. Now, the truth is that the unknown is uncomfortable. Anytime we face uncertainty, it makes us nervous and it's uncomfortable. But if we're honest with ourselves, there's also something really exciting about stepping into something new or stepping into the unknown. I mean, part of what makes something an adventure is the fact that you don't know what's going to happen next. And that feeling of excitement that you get is actually the feeling of you overcoming your fear of the unknown. Now, the problem is that right now there's so much unknown that it's becoming harder and harder to overcome that fear. I think it's safe to say that all of us are a little afraid of the future right now. All of us are a little nervous about what's going to happen next, and I get it. Now, more than likely, everything's gonna be fine. More than likely, everything is gonna go back to normal. In other words, this isn't gonna last forever. But I understand that right now, in the middle of this uncertainty with all of these questions, that's hard. Because anytime there's an unknown, we're nervous. I mean, it seems like everyone around us is nervous right now. Our parents and our government and our friends might all be experiencing anxious thoughts or fears, and that's normal. So in this series, we wanted to provide a space for you guys to talk about some of those things, to talk about some of the fears that you're experiencing and some of the things that you're nervous about. So over the next few weeks, we're going to be looking at the life of a guy named Joshua. Now, Joshua faced a lot of uncertainty in his life. He faced a lot of unknown. He was tasked with leading a group of Israelite people into a new land, into an uncertain future with new challenges and new rules and regulations. And Joshua had never done anything like this before. But about 40 years before, Moses had. Moses had led a group of people out of Egypt into an uncertain future, and they learned a lot. It's safe to say that they didn't handle the situation very well. See, they leaned into their fear and they let it go unchecked. And when you do that, your fear becomes worry, and your worry can become doubt. And so when Moses hands off leadership to Joshua, God comes and gives some advice in the form of a command to Joshua. And he says this, he says, "Be strong and courageous. Don't be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord is with you wherever you go." Now, this wasn't the only time that God said this to Joshua. He actually says it 2 other times in 2 other books of the Bible, which tells us that Joshua needed reminding, that even though he was strong, at times he was still afraid. And that's normal. Because courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is the choice to trust in the midst of your fear. And that's what God was calling Joshua to do. And that's what he calls us to do. But being strong and courageous is great, but it's really the second half of this verse that I want us to pay attention to, because this is the why. This is why we can be strong and why we should be courageous. See, this says, "For the Lord is with you wherever you go." See, there's something comforting about stepping into uncertainty when you know you're not alone. When I was in 7th grade, my parents moved, and I had to start at a new school during the middle of the school year. So not at the beginning, during the middle, once people have already made their friends and sports teams had already started. And if you've ever done that, you know that that's really hard. I was really nervous, and I had a lot of questions going through my head. I was thinking, what if I don't make any friends? What if nobody likes me? What if I don't like my teachers? And I had all these questions, and I was so nervous. I remember my parents dropped me off, and they said goodbye really loudly, and I'm walking down the hallway, and somebody yelled my name from across the hallway. It turns out it was my friend who was on my baseball team, and I had no idea that he went to this school. But he invited me to eat lunch with him and with his friends that day. And I just remember all of my fear and my nervousness just started to go away. Because in the middle of the unknown, I knew that I wasn't alone. See, the same is true for you and for me. God made a promise back then that he would not leave his people, that he wouldn't leave his disciples, and he's made the same promise to you and to me through his Holy Spirit that he will be with us. I don't know what next week is going to look like. I don't know what tomorrow is going to look like, but I do know this, that the Lord is with you wherever you go. And because of that, we can be strong and we can be courageous. But remember, just like Joshua, being strong doesn't mean that you won't be afraid. You might be afraid of spending the next several weeks around your annoying little brother, or you might be afraid of just being bored, or you might have heard your parents talking about money, and that makes you nervous. Whatever it is, we want to encourage you to go and talk about those things with your group. Because when you start to talk about those fears, they start to lose their power. Because chances are there's somebody in your group, or maybe even your leader, who's gone through something similar, and they can walk through this with you. So talk about those things with your group. And then I want you guys to think about this question. The question is this: what is your biggest fear about the future? Think about that question and then join your virtual small groups. We'll see you guys next week.
You know, I really like the idea of just that God knows more about you than you know about yourself. And I can't wait for you guys to get to talk about that more in your small groups. And if you guys don't know where you're going for small groups, there's going to be a number that pops up on the screen, and it's also going to be in the description below. And I want you guys to text your name, your grade, and your gender to that number. They'll go ahead and get you connected to your small group.
And stick around right after this for some news from John and JC. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have an awesome day.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Drew and Maceo. We have some news for you. I have been privileged to be the student director of Anthem students, both Transit and Inside Out, for the past 4 years, and have loved every moment of getting to know the volunteers, putting volunteers in your life as a student, and building relationships with you guys. And as every season has a start, it also has an end. And my season here is coming to an end. And so I'm so grateful for the chance to be a part of the relationships I have been a part of and the relationships with you guys. But I'm also grateful for the opportunity that I've had to be here and to lead Anthem students.
Jay-Z, we're super grateful for you too, man. You have invested so deeply in so many amazing volunteers and so many of the students that are, all of the students that are watching right now, whether they realize it or not, you've invested deeply in each and every one of them. So thank you for all of the time and energy that you've invested into making what Anthem and Transit and Inside Out so great. And for those of you that are watching right now, I know that you're probably surprised by all of this and processing, all of this news in your own way. And there's probably a lot of different emotions that you're feeling in this moment. But the thing that I really want you to feel is gratitude. The same gratitude that I have for JC for all of the stuff that he has done and all of the ways that he has invested here at Anthem, and we are going to find ways over the next couple of weeks to celebrate JC well, to send him off to what is next for him in the biggest and best way we know how. So I'm going to be communicating with you and your parents over the next couple of days on how we're going to do that for JC. We got some surprises worked in there for him, but it's going to be a great way for us to just show how thankful and how grateful we are for JC. And one of the things that I love the most about you, JC, is that this has never been about you. It's never been the JC show here at Anthem. You've always made it about the students, and you've always made it about the small group leaders here at Anthem.
Yeah, so, and that's the truth about Anthem students. I'm confident that, and I know that this is going to continue to be true, that your leaders are going to continue to be in your lives, that your leaders are going to continue to love you, and that the small group leaders will continue to create the family that you know and have loved Transit and Inside Out to be a part of. And I'm confident in how God is going to take me into my next season, but I'm also confident in how God is going to take Anthem students into their next season. And I know it's going to be good.
Yeah, we're excited to celebrate JC well over the next few weeks, and we're excited to continue having this conversation. And we want you to continue to have the conversation as well as you guys head in to small groups in just a few moments, as Maceo and Drew set you guys up to do. I just want to give you permission, I know that JC does as well, to ask questions, to feel what you're feeling. If you guys want to talk about the content today in the message, go for it. If you guys want to take this time to just celebrate JC and share memories and be thankful for him and ask questions, you are absolutely allowed to do that as well. So I just want you to know that as we celebrate JC well over the next couple of weeks and he moves on to what's next, if you have questions, if you're struggling with all of this, feel free to DM either of the student Instagram pages, and JC can interact with you that way. But I also want to encourage you just to lean into the amazing small group leaders that you have that are doing life with you and love you well as we transition into small groups. But before we get there real quick, I just want to take a moment to pray for JC, to pray for all of us, and pray over all of you as we head to small groups. So we'll do that real quick, okay? Jesus, we love you, and we love JC. I love JC, and I am so incredibly grateful for all of the time that he has been here with us and everything that he's invested into the lives of students and into the lives of leaders. God, we could not have done and created what we've created with Transit and Inside Out without JC, and for that we are so thankful and so grateful. But God, I know that you have an incredible plan for JC's life that goes beyond here at Anthem, and I also know that you have an incredible plan laid out for these students here at Transit and Inside Out that goes beyond what JC has built and led here over the past 4 years. So God, we trust you, but we also know that in this season there's going to be a lot of different emotions and a lot of different questions. And so God, I just ask that you help all of us to know that it's okay to feel those emotions and to ask questions along the way, because God, we trust you, and I'm so thankful for JC and all of the great leaders that are investing in these middle school and high schoolers week in and week out. God, we love you and we love JC, and we're excited to see what you're going to do next. It's in your name we pray. Amen.